In today's video, we've got 30 more cards coming back from Tag. Now, if you saw my last video on this, I went 19 for 20 on Gem Mint 10s coming back from Tag. And if you want to check that out, there should be a card popping up in the corner. Additionally, since this is going to be a very long video, if you would like to check the description, there will be timestamps for each card in this submission if you want to check out specific cards that I pre-graded to see what I got. So let's check it out and see how I did. All right, so if you did catch the last video, you probably know the process I'm going to take to explain all of this, but for those of you that didn't see the last video, we're going to go over it again. So what I've got over here on my other monitor, so I keep track of all of my pre-grading notes over here in this folder, and you can see the first one up here, that one's completed, and I've got a duplicate here. Now, just to prove that I am not editing this or fudging this in any way to make it seem like I am the perfect pre-grader, because I'm not. And nobody is. You're never going to know exactly what you get, but you can get close. Now, what you can see here on this file, this is the original right here. So I sent this submission into Tag on July 28th. That's when I completed the submission and submitted it and shipped it off. And you can see here that the date of today is August 27th. And we'll take a look at the rest of that in just a second. Now, the date that this file was last modified was July 28th. 2025 at 6:30 a.m. That's when I finished doing my submission and adding in my grading notes. So you know that I have not edited this file or even looked at it since that time. Now we're going to go ahead and open the completed one here. And we've got this one here. And this is where I've got all my measurements, my grade guesses, and the notes that I applied. Now, Tag has been doing a whole lot better with their submission times, way faster than PSA, Beckett, CGC. If we go into my personal Tag portal, you'll see that the pending receipt date was 8/4, that's August 4th. It was received also on August 4th. Order prep began on August 5th, and all the way through the grading process, it was shipped on August 22nd. So from start to finish, 15 to 20 business days, if that, to get these 30 cards back. And I will also say this, that at my vendor events and stuff that I do, I've completely gotten rid of any PSA slabs I have. I do not have any more, and I'm strictly grading with Tag from now on, because I do believe that their slabs look the best, and I think that their process is superior to all of the other grading companies out there. So that being said, we've got 30 cards to get through here, and well, I guess let's see how I did this time. All right, so we've got our first box here. Now I have two boxes of this. This is the first box. It's got 10 cards in it, so I'm not sure whether this is the start of the submission or the end of the submission. Regardless, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take out all these cards. We're going to see what the grade was, and then we're going to compare my grading notes and the dig report to see how accurate my pre-grading was. Again, last time I did this, I went 19 for 20 on the Gem Mint 10s, so that is a 95% Gem Mint 10 rate. And honestly, that's really good. I don't expect to do that every single time. Honestly, I'm shooting for a 75 to 80% gem rate. So if we do that, that will be that'll be pretty good. We can do that. A 75 to 80% Gem Mint 10 rate is what I am looking for. So hopefully we can hit that for this video today. I didn't do the math beforehand, so I don't know how many cards that is, but we'll see how it goes. So we're going to get started with our first card here, and this should tell us somewhere where in the submission we are. Now, last time I was ripping all these open, and it was just a really loud, noisy mess. So we're going to use a razor blade this time to get into these packs, and we want to try to get the reveal good, so we get a little bit surprised here. All right, so we've got our first one coming in here. All right, this is going to be a Cynthia's Garchomp. This one coming from Destined Rivals. So let me find that real quick in my grading notes, and then we'll see where we go with that. Let's see where we are in the submission list. Cynthia's Garchomp. So that was card number 15 in my submission in the list. All right, so let's go ahead and get this the rest of the way opened. I really like the grade reveal with this and how they do this, but man, sometimes it's really annoying to get these out of this plastic wrap. All right, so we got the Cynthia's Garchomp here, And this is just the ultra rare, but I really like the card, so I wanted to grade it. And we've got a Gem Mint 10. So we're starting out strong. We got the Cynthia's Garchomp Gem Mint 10 here. Now, as for my grading notes for this, I had 47, 53% on left and right, 52.9, 47.1 top and bottom, that's on the front of the card, and 48.3, 51.7 for left, right, back, and 54.46 for top, bottom. I had the grade as a 10, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit that, and we'll say 10. So I did get that one right. And my grading notes were simply no human observable defects. The card is clean. So let's jump over and take a look at the dig report. So we've got this one here. We'll view the dig on the Cynthia's Garchomp, and we get that Gem Mint 10 there. This is the highest Gem Mint ranked, obviously because I didn't do the tag score on this one. So as far as centering goes, I had 51.49 for left, right, and mine was, actually I had 47.53 and 45.55 top, bottom. So the centering, I was pretty close on the centering, and there's no dings, so that's good. So you scroll down, you can see everything here. Fill and fray looks really good throughout this entire card. The edges look really good. So pre-grading, 1 for 1 so far on this video. So that looks good there. We got the Cynthia's Garchomp. So we'll move on to the next card. All right, so I'm not sure which way that this is going to be moving. This next one should either be the Ethan's Ho-Oh from Destined's Rivals or a Team Rocket's Houndoom. So we'll see what we get here on this next one to get opened. And it looks like it's going to be, this one's actually going to be the Gastly. So this is very out of order, actually. I would have thought that they would have come back in the box to see exactly the order. So we got the Gastly here. This one from Temporal Forces, I think it is. Yes, Temporal Forces, the illustration rare. So we got the Gastly, and we get an 8.5. I actually had this one as a 10. So this is going to be a good one to check out the dig report and see exactly why this card got an 8.5. All right, so starting to look at the dig report here, we get the centering, 47 and 53, and all the centering here is within the constraints for a 10. No dings on the surface. We do have one ding on the corner here, and this is the back, bottom, right, and we have a corner wear. So we can go ahead and check that and view that corner wear. It should be down here in the right. So I actually don't think. Okay, so this doesn't actually seem like a ding, actually. So looking at the card, and this is probably why I wouldn't have picked this up. So actually looking at this card as for the corner wear, so this actually isn't corner wear. It actually looks like the corner is miscut. And let's jump back to the card cam here. So we have an 8.5 here on this Gastly. So I'm not sure how well you guys can see this on the camera. But what we have down here in this bottom right corner is actually the corner is not really well rounded and cut. Now, I personally didn't know that would exactly take it down a whole grade and a half. I would expect maybe to get a 9 on that. But if we go down and take a look, let's take a look at the corners on the back here. So the fill in the fray is good, 1,000 out of 1,000. And then bottom right, we also have 1,000 out of 1,000. So in terms of the dig report, I'm not exactly sure why that may have gotten an 8.5. Now this will probably be better if we go over here back to the card so you can see here on the back. You'll see in this area right here, it's not perfectly rounded. Now I can't really see the whitening like I can zoomed in on that picture. So you can see some whitening here on the corner, which is most likely what the edge wear might be referring to. And then over here, you'll see that this corner is much more round than you have in this area on the opposite corner. So that is what is causing, see how it's kind of a little bit more pointed there. So this card was definitely slightly miscut on this corner. So that is the reason for the 8.5. All right, so disappointing. I really thought that Gastly was going to get a 10, but that is something that I missed there in terms of the pre-grading. But we've got our next one coming in here, and we'll see where this one jumps to. That Gastly is probably worth less than the raw price. All right, the next one we've got coming is going to be the Zeraora VMAX from Crown Zenith. So we have this one. I have this one set as a 10. No human observable defects. The card is clean is my grading notes. And we've got another 8.5. Okay, so an 8.5. So we're going to have to figure out why this one also got an 8.5. All right, so we've got two dings on this card here. We've got the back bottom left, which is showing some corner wear. And I don't actually see that, but if let's take a look at the map and see what they're seeing on the stereoscopic imaging. So we've got some corner wear here, and yep, that's it right there. If we zoom in here, so you'll see in this area right here. So that is the corner wear that the machine is picking up. Now, if I take a look at this card, let's see if we can see. Okay, so now that I tilt the card in a very specific direction, actually, I can see that corner wear coming out. And then we've also got some corner wear on the bottom right as well. So we go back, and that will be on the front of the card. So we're going to check that out on the front. And we've got the corner wear here, so you can see that right there. That is pretty bad. Now that is specifically hard to pick up on these VMAX cards with the hollow border. So I do use a magnifying glass to look at this, but the magnifying glass itself, it's like 5 times or something like that. So maybe I should get a stronger one. I don't use any like microscopes or anything like that. That's just too much for me. But we've got the Zeraora VMAX here, and yeah, so that is the reason that this card got an 8.5. Now the back bottom left corner is something that I didn't pick up because I have to tilt this card a very specific way to see that corner wear on the back left corner. In the front there, looking at it with the naked eye, I can't see it. But this is machine learning AI grading, so it's going to see a whole lot more than we do. Is this a human observable defect? Possibly. Let's go down to the picture itself and take a look at the zoomed picture of the front. So this is going to allow us to zoom in 800%. Now, this is where that wear is supposed to be taking place, but I can't really see it. And then on the back here, okay, so in the back, on the back here with the black background, that is very, very visible. Now that is something I clearly missed when pre-grading this card. So we've got the 8.5, unfortunately. The back right corner here, which would be this corner, actually, or wait, no. Yeah, so that is, okay. So yeah, so that is something, as far as the front goes here, I don't see what I missed there. Even on this, I can't really see it in person. But this one here, definitely missed that. That is absolutely my fault. I should have picked up on that one. So we got our second 8.5. All right, so our next card coming in is maybe going to be the Raikou V from Stellar Crown. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going in the right direction now. So the next card we've got coming is this Raikou V from the Stellar Crown. Now, a couple of these were iffy. I'm not sure. So the Raikou, I had the card, my grading notes say the card is clean, no human observable defects. But apparently I've been wrong on that already. So this one, let's see, we get a Gem Mint 10. Okay, so I got this one right. So we got the 10 on this one as far as that goes. No human observable defects is what I found when pre-grading this card. So very good on that one. Now we do have a Suicune and an Entei as well. I pulled all 3 of them from that Crown Zenith opening, so I'm hoping I can get the set in 10s. The only one that I was iffy on was the Suicune, and we'll take a look at that. I think that card should be next. So I guess because it's a 10, we don't even have to look at the dig report. We got a 10, there should be no dings on it, so we'll move on to the next. All right, so we got our next card coming out here, and this should be the Suicune, and it is. Now, this is the only one that I was a little iffy on as far as this. For my grading notes for this one, the centering on the front is very close to a 10. The rest of the card is incredibly clean, but it could prevent it from getting, or rather, the rest of the card is incredibly clean, which could prevent it from getting a 9, although I won't be surprised if it does come back a 9. Now I have this pre-graded as a 10, but I also won't be surprised if it is a 9, and it is a 9. So I was right about that, unfortunately. And we're going to look at the dig report for this one. I do believe this is probably going to be a centering issue. That's probably going to be the only ding on it. So let's jump over and check that one out. So we'll jump over and see the Suicune in here somewhere. All right, so we've got the Suicune. There it is. So we'll check this one out. So we'll view the dig on the Suicune. And what we've got is going to be centering, I think. Yep, centering 41-59 on the centering. So that's going to be what caused this card to not get a 10. Now that was pretty far off from what I had. I actually had it at 55.2 and 44.8 for the top bottom. And that's on the front. So I was pretty far off of that. Now I use the centering app on the iOS App Store to check my centering. And I didn't think this one was that far off, but then again, they do have, better technology to, really get in there and get these centerings. So as far as this goes, I had this graded as a 10 from pre-grading, but I wouldn't be surprised if it got a 9. So I guess I was kind of right for that one. All right. So next card coming, this one should be the Entei according to the sheet and how in the order that these were submitted. So hopefully, I wish it was a little easier to get into these. It'd probably help if I had a better razor blade that was a little bit sharper. Maybe in between clips, I'll go grab a new one. That should probably help a lot. So this should be the Entei coming out of here. And the bottom is stuck. All right, so we've got the Entei. Now this one I also had pretty much graded exactly the same as the Raikou. I had card is clean, no HODs. As far as centering goes, top and bottom were good. Left and right on the front were very good, very close to 50-50. And we got a Gem Mint 10. So another one that I did have right here. So the Gem Mint 10 coming out for the Entei. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the set for the Gem Mint 10. So maybe I'll have to go out there, see if I can find a Suicune that is a 10, maybe trade the 9 and some cash for it. All right, next card, got a new razor blade. So we will, oh, that was much easier this time around. All right, so we got our next card coming in, and this one should actually be a Pikachu from Crown Zenith for the Galarian Gallery. Now this one I had graded as a 9. This one is for my personal collection. So I didn't care what this gets. This will go up on my Pikachu wall. I have a Pikachu wall. The only slabs that I personally collect are Pikachus. And I have them all in tag now. Any of the other ones that I did have previously in PSA, I cracked them out and send them to tag. So we've got this one, and this is the Galarian Gallery Pikachu. As for the grading notes, I had, other than the centering, the card is very clean, no human observable defects that I can see for my personal collection, and we get a 9. So I got that one spot on. I pre-graded this one as a 9 and didn't care that it got a 9 because it's for my personal collection. So we'll take it and we'll put it away. Let's check out the dig report just to see if my grading notes compare. All right, so here's our Pikachu that is a 9, and we'll see what the dings are. So we actually had the dings are the back top right and back top left that kept this from getting a 10. Actually, that's not true. We do see the centering here, 43 left and 57 right on the front. And yeah, so that is exactly, well, that's one of the reasons that's not going to get a 10, which I knew coming into this, but I did pre-grade the card right as a 9 anyways. We've got those little bits of corner wear on the back top right and the back top left. The top left I cannot see with my eye. The top right, debatable. But with the centering on there, it doesn't really matter. This card wasn't getting a 10 anyways. If we scroll down to the bottom and check out the pictures, let's see if we can see here. All right, so we had back top left. I guess maybe you can consider this right here, but I don't really see much in the way of corner wear. As for the right, I guess this is the little spot that they were talking about in this dig report, which again is fine. I had this card pre-graded as a 9 and it got a 9, so I did good on that one. All right, so we got our next one, and this next one should also be a Pikachu. This should be the secret rare that comes from Crown Zenith. So this would be the first card out of the main set, I believe it would be. That's what this Pikachu should be, and yes, it is. So this is the non-Galarian Gallery Pikachu in the Crown Zenith set. This one here I have graded also as a 9. Other than the centering, the card is very clean, no human observable defects that I can see. This is also for my personal collection, and we get an 8.5. All right, so I was off by half a grade on that one. Also, this one is also going into my personal collection. So we'll jump over and we'll check out the dig report of this one. Okay, so we've got the centering. So the centering is actually the only ding on this card. So as far as my grading notes go, other than the centering, the card is very clean, which was right. The card is very clean. The only thing keeping this from a 9 or a 10 is going to be the centering. But again, I pulled this card. This is for my personal collection anyways. And the centering is 6139 on the top bottom of the front. And I knew that. Now that I look at this card before, I knew that going in. For the top bottom as my own calculations, I had 60-40. So it being 61-39 takes it out of the range of also a 9. So that is why this card got an 8.5. So we don't care about that one. That is for the personal collection anyways. So I don't really care that I didn't get the grade right on that one. The resale cards are the one that's going to be most important. All right, so our next one is going to be another Pikachu, and this one is actually going to be for resale. I did pull 2 of those Pikachus. Now, this one I do have marked as a 10, and I've got the my grading notes as no human observable defects. The card is clean, so this one should come back at 10, and we'll see how we did. And we get a Gem Mint 10 on the other Pikachu. I do collect Pikachus again for my personal collection and slabs and stuff like that. But if I do pull multiple of them, I usually keep the lower grade for myself because it's more about the encapsulation of a Pikachu that I pulled rather than the grade it gets. So something like this, because this is a Gem Mint 10, I will go ahead and resell this at one of my vendor events because I like to take the profits from what I do at the vendor events to put it back into my collections. So any profits that do come from this Gem Mint 10 Pikachu here are going to go right back into completing master sets for me. So this one's good, Gem Mint 10. Don't need to look at the dig for this one. All right, next card up. This one should be the Aerodactyl V from Lost Origin. This one I sent in. I have this one pre-graded as a 9. In my notes, my personal notes, I have this card was very hard to judge the centering on because of the color and the texture of the hollow foil. Most likely a 9, but could possibly be as low as an 8. The grade 9 of this card is the same value as a raw card. So either way, I'm only losing about 15 bucks on the raw value if this card doesn't come back at 10. Now, as for the centering on this card, it was not good. I have the top at 42.5 and the bottom at 57.5. So hopefully it does come back a 9, and we'll see right here. It is a Gem Mint 9. So I got this one right as well on the 9. This is a very cool card to have encapsulated, especially when you pull it. It is the number 2 chase for the Lost Origin set, so I thought it would be cool to have it encapsulated as a Gem Mint 9, and again, it does have the same value as a raw card, so really not much loss there. So that is another one that I did get correct throughout this video. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the dig report for this one and just make sure that I got it right because of my notes. So there we have it, exactly right because of my pre-grading notes. Centering is off 4159 on the front, top, and bottom. And again, I had 42.4 and 57.6. So if we round up like Tag is doing here, 42.58. So I was off by 1%. So not bad there. My grading notes were spot on, and this card was graded just as it should be. All right, so since I sent in 30 cards, we got another box here. This one is going to be stocked all the way full, and we've got 20 cards in this one to get through. Now, at this point, we've been through 10 cards, and I am 7 for 10 on my pre-grading. As for what I've guessed the card has been, so 70% is my correct rate. I would like to get that up again. I think a more realistic number, now that I think about it, will be a 70 to 80% Gem Mint 10 rate. But obviously that doesn't apply to every card because some of them that I did send in, I knew were not going to get the 10s. But as far as it goes with the 10s rate, I do believe I am 1, 2, 3, 4. I am 4 for 6 on that. So 4 for 6 right now on the Gem Mint 10s. So we've got 4 Gem Mint 10s right now that I did pre-grade a 10. So we're doing pretty good right there. Let's see if we can keep it going with the next 20 cards. I have no idea which card is going to be first coming out of this. That random Cynthia's Garchomp that we started out with was like right in the middle of my submission. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm sorry for the noise, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start ripping these open because the razor blade is just kind of annoying. So the next one we got here. Okay, so this is going to be another Pikachu. This one coming from Super Electric Breaker. I pulled this one in a video quite a while ago. So we'll go up and we'll check this one. So Pikachu from the Super Electric Breaker. Now, I'm not very good at pre-grading Japanese cards, especially because of the back. There's no like super defined centering border. So we've got the Super Electric Breaker here. Now, I do have this one graded as a 10. I did the best I possibly could with the back measurements. This is for my personal collection also. I have it graded as a 10, and I don't really care what it gets, but let's see if I was right. And we get a Gem Mint 10. So I was right. So we got another Gem Mint 10 coming out on the Super Electric Breaker side. This one is the super rare version of Pikachu. So not bad at all. Another Gem Mint 10 to add to the stack. All right, so next card coming in here. This one is, let's see what we got here. Not sure where we're at with this. That Pikachu is also like really random. All right, so our next one we've got, this one is coming from, oh, this is a Pikachu also coming from the Paldea Adventure Chest. I bought 4 of these in the hopes to get a card that was actually pretty decently centered. So we'll have to find this one. As for my notes, can't find it. Wait, there it is. Scarlet and Violet promo. Okay, so this one I actually had pre-graded as an 8, but again, this one is another Pikachu for my personal collection. As for my grading notes, I have possible minor edge wear on the back, top edge. Additionally, a print defect, maybe to the right of the TM on the back. This card could possibly 10 if my measurements are close, but probably not, and it's for my personal collection. And we get a 9. Okay, so I was wrong in the wrong direction for this one. So I had this one pre-graded as a 9, so it looks like I was a little too harsh on this card. But again, regardless of that, this one is going into my personal collection anyways, so not really concerned with the grade. Let's check out the dig report. All right, so for this one, for the dings, I was, again, wrong in the wrong direction, or I guess the right direction here. I had this pre-graded as an 8, and it got a 9. As for the dings on this one, we have the back bottom left. There is a little bit of corner wear, and the back top left. There's also a little bit of corner wear. If I take a look at this card, so we have back bottom left. That one, yeah, there is some corner wear there. I can see that with the naked eye. But again, I didn't go too hard with the pre-grading on this one because it was for my personal collection anyways. And the back top left, there is a very small white dot, very small. So the back top left is very small. If we go down to the pictures, you'll be able to see those better with the black background. So there is the back bottom left little white spot, and the top is right there. That one is very small. I think, am I looking at the right spot? Yeah, it is. Okay, so top left here, that one again is very small. That one I can't, this is what they would be referring to here on that back top left for the ding. So not bad, another 9. Again, I had this one graded as an 8, so we'll take the 9, no problem. All right, so our next one coming in here should be Roxanne, and this comes from Sword and Shield Astral Radiance. This one is a rainbow card, and I never have rainbow rares at my table when I have vendor events, so I pulled some myself. So I figured I'd send them in for a grade, just, you know, because why not? I'd want to have some rainbows at my card table. So we got this one. This one, the centering was very good on. I have this one pre-graded as a 10. Card is clean, no human observable defects, and we get a Gem Mint 10. So another pre-graded card comes back as a 10, so we'll take that all day. And we don't have to look at the dig for this one. We'll move right on to the next one. All right, next card coming out. This one should be a Rotom, I think, from Destined Rivals. And just butchered opening that up. So we've got the Rotom from Destined Rivals here, and I just absolutely destroyed this pre-grading pack. So we're just going to rip it across the top. This one I have as a 10. Card is clean, no human observable defects. And we get another Gem Mint 10. So we got another 10 here coming out for the Destined Rivals Rotom. I just liked this card. It's probably not going to be worth that much as a Gem Mint 10, but I figured somebody might want it because I like it. So, you know, somebody else is probably going to like this card as well. So there's another 10. All right, our next card coming out. This one should be the Team Rocket's Houndoom, or actually it might be the Scizor. I'm not sure. It could go either way. I'm not sure which card this might be. So we got, okay, this is the Scizor. So we're going in the other direction that I have on the grading report here. So we got a Scizor here, and I have this one graded as a 10 as well. Card is clean, no human observable defects. We get a Gem Mint 10 on the Scizor as well. So another 10 to add to the stack there. Scizor, this one should actually be pretty easy to move. I actually had 3 of these that I did pull from Obsidian Flames. This was the only one worth grading. The other 2 I threw up on eBay were literally gone within 36 hours of the listing. So that tells me that this card is pretty sought after. And especially being in a Gem Mint 10, it should be pretty easy to move. All right, so we got another 10. Next card. All right, so we've got our next one coming out, and I'm not sure what this one might be the Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames, and this is actually going to be the double rare. I love Charizard cards. I don't collect the slabs, but I know a lot of people do, and I haven't seen a lot of slabs of this card, and I think it's pretty cool because it is a textured double rare. So I sent it in anyways. So for this one, my grading notes, I have card is clean, no human observable defects on this one, and we get a Gem Mint 10. So another 10 to add to the collection here. That's going to go up at my next vendor event. So cool. Another 10. All right. Seeing that and following the report here that I have, the next one is actually going to, it should be a basic fire energy from Obsidian Flames. I have no idea why I want to grade these energies, but we have this, and it is the basic fire energy. So this one, I really like the gold energies, and I've been trying to pull some to grade. Now, like I said, I usually only collect Pikachu slabs, but if I can get the set of gold energies from Scarlet and Violet in tag 10s, I do want those. I just think they look really cool in a tag slab. I've seen a couple here and there that people have had, and that's what made me send this in. So I'm hoping this is a 10. However, I do have that this could be a 10 or a 9 as my grade guess, because there may be a possible print defect on the face of the card. I'm not sure, and I can't tell under the available magnification that I have. And we get a 9. So I was actually right on this one. So we have a mint 9. So I had this marked as a 10 or a 9. A 10 if it didn't have that possible print defect, and I do want to find out if I was correct about that print defect. So we're going to pull that dig report up and take a look at that one. All right, so here we have the dig report for this basic fire energy. So we have the dings. So this is actually listing as the back top left and the back bottom left. All right, so let's take a look here. So yes, I do remember seeing this back bottom left ding here, but I didn't think it was significant enough to cause it to not get a 10. The one on the top left, I can't even really see. That one is very small. Let's take a look at the pictures on the black background here. So we'll take a look at the top left first. Under the 800 times magnification, you can see it there. But once we start backing out here, once you get to about 200, it really starts to go away. And then when you're all the way out at 100, you can't even see that one. At 100, I can barely see this one down here on the bottom left. And then all the way in, that is I guess you could say a pretty significant, but regardless, I had guessed this would get a 10 or a 9, and it is for my personal collection anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we're gonna take it. So we're gonna say I got that one right. I mean, I did guess 2 grades on it, but I had a reason for guessing 2 grades. Outside of those 2 little dings, everything else I had in the notes I think was right. I still don't know about that print defect. That's not listed in here in the report anywhere. Let's see if actually we can zoom in. So that is actually what I thought might be the print defect, this little spot here. So I'm not exactly sure what that, maybe it's part of the card. I don't know. Not really sure. But it did get a 9, so we'll take it. All right, so our next card, and I'm going back to the Razor Blade because pulling this packs up is just so noisy and it's really annoying. So the next card coming out here should be the Lugia V from Silver Tempest. This one is also listed as the same value under a raw card as it would be under a 9. So I went ahead and sent this in for grading because regardless, and there it is, yes, the Lugia V. I pulled this out of a Legendary Collection box. And I did not expect to get it. I had actually called it coming out of the pack. So we got the Lugia V here. This is the alt art. This one I have pre-graded as a 9. I have the card as pristine other than the centering, definite 9 based on my measurements, but I wanted to grade it anyways. And we get an 8.5. All right, so I was off by half a grade on this one. So we get the 8.5 and we're going to see why. All right, so for this one, we got the 8.5, and it looks like the centering is the only notable ding. So I did have the card is pristine other than the centering on my notes. So I was absolutely right about that part. As for the 8.5, the 8.5 is because it did fall out of the 60-40 range on that centering on the front. Now I had it at 58.7, 41.3. That's what my centering was, which rounded would be 59.41. So I did think it would fall within the constraints of a 9. As for tag, they have it at 61.24 and 38.76. So rounded would be 61.39. I knew this card was not going to get a 10 coming out of the pack, especially with how bad the centering was. As for the value of an 8.5, we can check price charting and compare it to the available PSA pricing. So we'll see what this actually does say. So it says at a grade 9, it actually would have been $390 roughly. The grade 8 is at $284. And we'll see there's nothing in here for an 8.5, so we're not really sure exactly what the value of that. I guess with a grade 8 at 284 and a 9 at 390, we could probably assume that I could get raw value for this card, which is roughly $323. So not bad at all. Unfortunately, it did not 10. If it would have 10'd, that is a big payday right there, about $1,100 when compared to a PSA pricing. So 8.5 on that one. I'm going to say didn't get that one right, unfortunately, because my centering measurements are off. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so our next card coming out should be the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. I pulled this one on Rip of the Day, so that's pretty good. Now, the object with these ones is this would have been, okay, so actually this is not the Squirtle. Which way are we going now? This one has a yellow border. Okay, so this is a Pikachu. This is another Pikachu card that I really like, and this one comes from Silver Tempest as well. So this is going into my personal collection. So let's see what I had for my notes on this one. Pikachu, we have, where are you? Where are you from Silver Tempest? So we got the Lugia there. And then I'm still looking for that Pikachu. We got the Scarlet and Violet. I actually may not have done grading notes on this one. Nope, I did not. So this one I just raw dogged. I looked at it. Okay. I remember this now. I looked at this one, I pulled it, and I was like, that looks okay. It's gonna go up on my Pikachu wall anyway, so it doesn't matter. This one, a gem or a mint 9. So not bad. So this one is going to go up on the Pikachu wall, just because I like this artwork. This one's got the Pikachu with the dead end in the background. So this one is just like a card favorite of mine. So really no reason to care what this card got as a grade. I didn't even really pre-grade it. I literally just looked at it and was like, nope, that looks good enough, and sent it away. So we'll take the 9 on this one. That one's going to be for the Pikachu wall. All right, so once again, I'm thrown off by the order of cards because the next one should have been the Squirtle for Stellar Crown, but it wasn't. So we're going to see what this next one is coming out here. And we've got, this is actually, another card that I actually didn't grade. I just looked at it and sent it in, because this is a Pikachu from the Jungle set. This is the first Pikachu card that I ever personally pulled from a Pokemon card set, from the original 1999 base set. I still had these cards sitting around, and I wanted to get these into tag slabs. So as for this card, do not care at all what this grade is. I wanted this for sentimental value and to have it slabbed, and it is a 5. So I actually got an excellent on this, for a 26-year-old card to get a 5. And this has been, I've had this card since I was 10 years old. That's 25 years ago. I had this card, pulled it myself, and I've had it for that long, and it's been through, I don't know how many binder exchanges, how many times I've moved from my house to my parents' house to college to an apartment I've been renting. No idea how many times this card has been around. In terms of getting a 5 on it, not mad at that at all. This is a sentimental value card for me. I also have one from the base set, which hopefully should be this next card here. So we'll see if this one here is the base set Pikachu. Again, another card that I pulled from the original base set packs of cards. So we got the Pikachu base set here. This is not the shadowless one. Obviously, Yellow Cheeks Pikachu, an 8. Okay, so I did not expect this to get an 8. Wow. This one looks, it does look pretty clean on the back, and just how old it was, that's really cool. So I was thinking that both of these cards, I honestly thought this Pikachu here was probably going to get something like a 3 or a 4. So a 5, I'm happy with that. And the Pikachu from the base set Yellow Cheeks, that's really cool to see an 8 on that one. So that is another Pikachu card going into my personal collection. That is awesome. I'm super happy to see that 8 on the Yellow Cheeks Pikachu here. All right, so next card up. Let's see. Those last 2 Pikachus I didn't have any grading notes for because I didn't care. They're for, obviously sentimental reasons and just keeping them preserved as they are, since I've had them both. I've had both of those cards for 25, 26 years. So our next card coming out, this one is going to be the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. So this one I had pre-graded as a 10. My grading notes say there's a very small white spot on the back bottom left, but it shouldn't be enough to keep the card from getting a 10. And it is a 9, so possibly it was. Let's check out. Let's see the dig report for this one and see why it got a 9. If it is going to be the back bottom left, which looking at here, there is a very small white spot there on the back bottom left, but I don't think that it should have kept it from getting a 10. So let's check it out, see the dig report for the Squirtle. All right, so for Squirtle, we take a look at the centering here. So that is within the constraints for a 10. And then we got the dings for the back bottom left and also the back bottom right. Back bottom right, I don't see anything on, just looking with my naked eye. Back bottom left is the one I did have documented in my grading notes on the back bottom left, but I didn't think that it would be enough to keep it from getting a 10. So then we go down and we'll see. So here is the back bottom left. So they have this right here. That is the ding, and that is under a lot of magnification there. And I guess they've also got this very little white speck here as the ding. And I got to say, though, with this one, I'm a little unhappy with that because I can't even see this back bottom right ding right here with the naked eye. And I have very good vision, by the way. I don't wear glasses. I don't need glasses. I can see from pretty far away, pretty close up, all that stuff. I actually don't see the back bottom right ding that they have listed here with my naked eye at all. If we go in here, so you can definitely clearly see this one at 800%. And this, I guess this is the corner where that they're talking about right here, this very tiny little white spot. And as we start moving out from it, it pretty much disappears. We're at 281%, it's barely there. And then we keep going. And once we get out to 140%, it's gone. 162. So once we get out to 100%, it's gone. This back bottom left, I can barely see. So I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm a little bit annoyed at that one because I can't see that back bottom right ding with my naked eye. So that should be considered a non-human observable defect. In the bottom left is a very small white speck with the naked eye. So honestly, I think this Squirtle should have got a 10. All right, so we got our next card here. This one is going to be a big one. This is the Ethan's Ho-Oh, or it should be, rather. I haven't looked at it yet. This should be the Ethan's Ho-Oh from Destined Rivals. I pulled this out of a Mewtwo box on the release date for those box. Team Rocket's Mewtwo box. And this one's a big one. As for my grading notes for this one, I have card is super clean, no human observable defects, should be a 10, no question. And we get a 9. Oh my gosh, wow, why? Okay, why did this get a 9? I gotta know why. All right, so let's check it out. Let's check the dig report on this one. All right, so we've got the Ethan's Ho-Oh here pulled up on the dig report. And as for the dings, we've got front centering, 4357 top bottom. There's no way I could have been off that far. Top bottom, I have 4654. Ooh, wait. Okay, so I messed up on this one. Wow. Okay, so I definitely messed up on this one. So this is a personal mistake by me. So they have 4357 on the top bottom here. I also have 4753. Okay, actually, no, sorry. I have 46.6, 53.4 on this one for top bottom. So that would round to 4753, which is definitely within the parameters. 4753. I don't know. I might have to reach out to them about this one because there is no way that I was 4 percentage points off on the centering on this one. But I'm going to check it out anyways. I'm going to recenter it myself after I'm done with this video. So we'll have to see what happened with this, or if I was wrong. So I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to take a look at this one. As far as centering goes, Tag is saying it is because it's 4357 top bottom, but I do not have that. I have 4753, which is well within the constraints for a 10. So I'll have to check that out. All right, so next one up, I guess this is going to be the Team Rocket's Houndoom, and we'll see what we get out of this one. So Team Rocket's Houndoom, yep, that's it. So this one, I actually have, this could be a 10 or a 10 pristine. For my grading notes for this one, I actually have the card is, measurements are very close to a 10 pristine, very small whitening spot on the back top left and bottom right corner. That's what would keep this card from a 10 pristine, and we get a 9. Okay, so confused on this one as well. So I've been doing really good so far for the night, but we're starting to catch up with some 9s here. So I'm starting to get a little weirded out that a lot of my grading notes are pretty spot on, and some of them aren't. So this would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the 6th mint 9 out of this one. So let's look at the dig report for this one. All right, so for this one, we have the back bottom right and back top left. So I guess I do have the grading in my grading notes that there's small whitening spots on the back top left and bottom right corner, which would keep this card from a 10 pristine. Now, I didn't think that it would keep it from a 10. I thought it would keep it from a 10 pristine because of those white dots, but because of how close the centering measurements were for pristine, at least that I have, I thought that would actually carry over on the 1000 point scale to keep this at a gem mint 10. So I guess in terms of my pre-grading, especially going to tag, I mean, I am annoyed that I pre-graded this myself to follow my standards and it didn't get a 10. But knowing how that tag is sending back these cards now and what they're dinging for, it's actually going to help me in the future to recognize exactly what I need to look for. So these whitening spots, so we'll take a look here. Not super visible on this, but on the black background is where we should be able to see it the most. Obviously, so we've got up under 800% here. So here we have a white spot, and then also down here, we have another white spot. Now this one down here, I can barely see. This one here, I can barely see with the naked eye. The one on the top left, I can see with my naked eye, but it's not terrible. Obviously, the black background on these slab images does exacerbate it a little bit. So if we zoom out all the way to 100%, you can barely see that right there. And then this one down here, you can pretty much not see at all on the bottom right. So I guess this could be my fault, because I did recognize that it did have those two white spots, but I personally thought that because the centering was so close with this to a 10 pristine, that it could still push it over the edge for a 10. All right, our next card coming out is going to be, I think this is going to be an Ethan's Typhlosion. And this one is, oh, I opened the wrong side. I opened the wrong side of it. Let's see if I can, push it out the other side here. All right, so there we go. We got the other side open. We can push it out. Coming out this way over here, maybe. All right, so this one is going to be, oh, this is going to be the other Houndoom I sent in. I did send in 2 of these. All right, so let's see how this one goes. Team Rocket's Houndoom. This one I also had pre-graded and guessed a 10 on this one. Back top left may have a fill freight issue. Otherwise, the card is clean, no human observable defects, and we get a 10. Okay, so I got this one right. At least I got one of the Houndooms right. So another 10 comes out and my pre-grading prevails. I don't think I'm doing as well as I did on the last video of this, but we're gonna see at the end and compare it. If I did hit that 70 to 80% 10 gem min 10 rate, then I'll be happy with it. But we'll have to wait till the end of the video to check that out. All right, so we got a 10 on this one. No need to look at it further. Let's move on. All right, so next one here, let me actually open the right side. The next one here, this one may be the Typhlosion, which is a really cool card, by the way. I have no doubts that that one will sell pretty quickly. So this is the Typhlosion. All right, so this one I have as very small white spots on the top left, top right, and bottom left, but I could only see them under the magnification that I use, and we get a 10. Perfect. Okay, so those white spots, let's compare these white spots to the 9 on the Houndoom we got. Let's do that. I think that'll be a good way to check this out and see exactly what we're looking for on the next pre-grading adventure for tag. All right, so we'll start out looking at the Houndoom here. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So we've got that white spot here, white spot on the top left and on the top on the bottom right. So we'll focus on this one here. So this is the white spot under 800% magnification. And then if we come over and look at the Gem Mint 10 of the Ethan's Typhlosion, I also had, so this right here, I guess this is the white spot I had here. As for the back top left, I also had one on the top right. Let's see. Yep, that little white spot. So this one is a little bit more comparable, but not as bad. So if we flip back to the top left, okay, so that is much more noticeable than this one, especially even under magnification with the black background. So if any of you guys are out there using this video to learn to pre-grade, so this is what we're looking at. So this is going to be the severity between 9s and 10s when you're talking white spots on corners. So this one under 800% looks like that, and this one here under 800% looks like that. So that's what I had in my grading notes. I could only see that under magnification. If we zoom out, nothing at all on the Typhlosion on the top right. If we zoom out on the Houndoom here, can still see that little speck of white there. So okay, so now I'm not quite as annoyed with the grading process, or rather with my pre-grading process, now that I'm looking at these 2 dig reports and comparing the cards literally right next to each other and being able to look at these you know, at the same exact time. Okay, so another 10, we get another 10, we'll throw it on the stack. All right, so next card coming out, this is going to be another Pikachu. I got this one coming from Scarlet and Violet 151. I finally pulled, yep, it is the Pikachu. I finally pulled a second Pikachu illustration rare. The first one I pulled went into my binder. This one I have pre-graded as a 9. This one is also for my personal collection. Obviously, it's for a Pikachu. I did pre-grade this one just to send it in and use, you know, the data for this video. So I have it pre-graded as a 9. For this one, I have the whitening on the top right corner is very noticeable to the naked eye. Everything else is very clean. This is for my personal collection, and we get a 9. So I got this one right. I expected this to be a 9 and don't care if it got a 9 because, again, it's for my personal collection. Pulled this one myself, so now I've got one in the binder for the master set, and I've got this one to go up on my wall. So cool. Let's take a look at the dig report and see if it compares to my notes. All right, so we got the Pikachu up here, and we've got notable dings. Yup, back top right there. That is that ding that I had in my grading notes. And this one also has an ink defect listed here. So surface ink defect on the back top left. So I'm not sure. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is about. So the ink defect is up here on the top left. Now that is just something that I can't see. I don't know if I'd even be able to, you know, identify that on... I don't even know if I'd be able to identify that with magnification. So it has listed as an ink defect. Let's reopen that so we can see where it is again. So right up here in the back top left, yeah, I'm not sure. Really not sure if I'd be able to identify that at all. But the top right here, this I did have in my grading notes on the back top right. So that's spot on. Got the 9, definitely deserved for this. I don't know if I'll be able to see ink defect here. Not really sure. I mean, I've seen some ink defects in the past. Oh, it might be. I wonder if it's this right here. This could be the ink defect right there. Maybe. Not sure. Let me take a look at the back of another card. No, that's definitely not the ink defect. If I take a look at the back of a 10 here, when comparing it, not really sure what they're seeing and what I'm not. So I'm actually gonna have to do some research into ink defects and see exactly what they might be or different variations of them. But regardless, we got a 9 on this, which is fine. It's for the personal collection anyways, and it is the exact grade that I pre-graded it at. All right, so the next one coming out is another pretty decent one. This is going to be the Greninja from the promos. This one coming out of the Shrouded Fable box. So this is the Scarlet and Violet promos Greninja, and this one can go for quite a bit. I do have this pre-graded as a 10. Very small white specks on the back top left and right, only seen well under magnification. As far as centering goes, this one looks real good, especially on the front. It's pretty close to pristine measurements. The back, not so much, but we don't care about that. And we get a 9. Oh, that's unfortunate. This one actually hurts a lot to get a 9 on this one. But obviously we're gonna see why. All right, so the Greninja got a 9, unfortunately, and this one, it looks like we've got dings back top left. So I did have that in the grading report, but I don't see, let's see, the stereoscopic image. So this has got it up here with the corner wear. Honestly, I can't see anything on this card. So this one, I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the magnification. So here we've got, so I guess we got this little white speck right here is what they're talking about. And possibly this? I can't see that with my naked eye either. I don't know. Even if let me hold it up. If I hold it up against something black like the Gengar, I still can't really see it and know what they're talking about. That's the only speck on this card there, at least that I can see. So that is, that's apparently that back top left is the only thing keeping it from getting a 10. But I don't think that, I honestly don't think, when we compare that to what we just looked at with the Ethan's Typhlosion, that looks pretty comparable to that last ding that we checked out with that Typhlosion card. As far as magnification goes, so we have it there, and you can see it just a little bit there, and then when we go all the way out, it is gone. So the 9, unfortunately, on this one definitely hurts, but we got 2 more cards to get through. Let's see what we get. All right, so our last two cards are actually also going to be rainbow cards. These were, again, I just wanted to grade these to have some rainbow slabs at my table because they look cool, and believe it or not, a lot of people collect rainbow slabs. So this is going to be the Boltund coming out of Fusion Strike, and this is a pretty cool card anyways, the Boltund. This one I have a 9 or a 10 as the grade. This could be a 9 based on centering. VMAX rainbow cards are very hard to judge because they lack a top border. There is a small, barely visible white dot on the backside of the card. That shouldn't keep it from a 10, but centering will be the deciding factor, and we get a 9. Okay, so I had this one at a 9 or a 10, so technically I got this one right. So we'll see about this, and let's see if it actually was the centering on this one. So we'll pull that Boltund up and take a look at that one. So got the dig report up. So let's take a look, and we get centering. Yep, centering did do it. 60-40 left, right, 40-60 on top, bottom. That I just don't, these cards are incredibly hard to actually judge based on how they look. Because that rainbow pattern, especially the ones with like minimal border, is very hard. And then there's also listed on the back top right a surface ink defect. Let's see what that is looking at. So we'll take a look at that, and we got that right there. So we got this right here. Apparently this is the ink defect here. Let's see, did I catch that? Let's see. Ooh, I guess it's that little white spot I missed there. Okay, so that is the surface ink defect right there. So that would definitely cause it to, if it wasn't just for centering alone, that would definitely cause it to get a 9. However, I did have this card pre-graded as a 9 or a 10, so not unhappy with the grade it got because I still kind of got it right. All right, so we're down to our last card here. This is also going to be another rainbow card. This is a Drapion V-Star. This one coming from Lost Origin. So we'll take a look at this one and see what it got. I have this one listed as a 9, and then in parentheses, maybe 10. Borders, corners, and front surface are all clean. No human observable defects. The back has a couple of spots on it that might be considered print defects. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to get on this. As for the centering, this one doesn't have the rainbow border that, extends all the way to the side of the card. So much easier to test centering on. We get a 9. So this one I had 9, maybe 10 in parentheses. So this one, again, I got correct on the pre-grading. Not really concerned with, what the prices are on these. I literally just wanted to have a couple at my table for people that like to collect them. So we got the 9 on the Drapion V-Star. So as far as the grading itself goes, out of the 30 cards that I sent, these are the 10s. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Gem Mint 10s out of 30 cards. However, there were quite a few cards in here that I did not have graded as a 10 for specific reasons, whether they were for my personal collection or whether they were just not going to get a 10 out the gate. So I can take you guys through that, and we'll see exactly how that compared with my pre-grading notes and see how well I did guessing my grades accurately. All right, so to finish this video out, we'll go ahead and check out the statistics and everything on my pre-grading. So we've got the spreadsheet listed up here, and anything here in the orange is something I got wrong. Anything that's green is what I got correct. Now, as for this submission plus my last submission with tag, that is 50 cards in total that I have pre-graded. 18 out of the 27 grades in this video were guessed accurately. That is 66%. So 4% lower than my minimum standard that I would like to meet. 3 cards in the submission, which were 3 of those Pikachus, the one from Silver Tempest, base set, and jungle set. I did not pre-grade. I just sent those in as is. 11 out of the 18 10s in this video I did guess correctly, which is 61%. So that is quite a bit lower than what I would like to be at, which is the minimum of 70%, and somewhere in between 70 and 80% is where I would like to be for my pre-grading accuracy. Now, when we compare this video to the last video, 24 out of 32 total cards that I have guessed 10 on have been correct. That is an overall success rate of 75%. So I am doing pretty good so far through 2 submissions to guess those 10s. Again, 24 out of 32, 75%, right in the middle of the 70 to 80% success rate that I would like to be at. This submission did not go quite as well as the last one. Obviously, I had 19 out of 20 Gem Mint 10s on my last submission for tag. Now, in the last video, I was wrong in the correct direction several times in that video. I guessed 9, but the card actually got a 10. Now, I thought that was because I was being too harsh with my pre-grading. Turns out I was being just how I should have been with my pre-grading, because with these cards that we went through today and these 30 cards, they definitely did have a little bit more of a lax pre-grading, because I thought that I was being too hard on these cards, but turns out that I just wasn't. I was actually being very accurate with the cards. So I have already sent in another 21 cards to tag, which should be coming back to me probably within the next month to 5 weeks. So hopefully we'll get that one back in time. Before my next vendor events, I'll have some more 10s to go up on my shelf for that event. But regardless, out of both of the videos, I think I'm doing pretty good. 75% success rate on the Gem Mint 10s and an overall success rate of around 80% for my grade guessing. So I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I would love to have more 10s, but we did get 11 out of the 18 that I did guess in this video. So 66%, or rather 61%. So need to do a little bit better there. Hopefully the next submission comes back a little better. I know this was a long one, so if you stuck through the whole video, I do appreciate you guys giving me the watch time. It's really fun to make these videos, especially when pre-grading and stuff, and hopefully that these videos can help you guys out there that want to pre-grade actually know what to look for. Again, I am a 75% success rate with the 24 out of 32 total cards that I have guessed 10, so that is pretty good. That is something that you would want to shoot for when pre-grading your cards. So I think that's going to do it. Again, this one's going to be a long one, so I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like this video and want to see more like it, or pack ripping videos for Pokemon cards, you can click on one of the videos up here. Again, thank you for watching. Make sure to smash the like button on your way out. I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.